Good day everyone. Welcome to another video lesson for today. So for now, we will discuss about sampling distribution. So let's have first a concept review. So what is the probability that each member of the population will be a part of the sample in a probability sampling? So this will be equal probability. Kasi kung maalala natin, no, in probability sampling, we give equal opportunity on each member of the population to be selected to be part or to represent the whole population. And number two, what is the probability that each member of the population will be part of the sample in a non-probability sampling? So this is an even probability. Kasi doon sa non-probability sampling, meron tayong tina-target na specific characteristics or traits na hinahanap natin from the population. So, pinipili natin, no, and hindi natin nabibigyan ng equal opportunity yung each member of the population. So let's have our learning outcomes for today. So letter A, identify sampling distribution of the sample mean. Letter B, find the mean and variance of the sampling distribution of the sample mean. Letter C, define the sampling distribution of the sample mean for normal population when the variance is known. And letter D, define the sampling distribution of the sample mean for normal population when the variance is unknown. So let's start with sampling distribution. So when we say population distribution, it is the probability distribution of the population data. The probability of sample mean is called sampling distribution. The sampling distribution is the list of various values of X can assume and the probability of each value of sample mean. Yung X bar natin is notation for sample mean. And sampling distribution of sample means is a probability distribution consisting of all possible sample means of a given sample size and selected from a population and the probability of occurrence with each sample mean. Sampling distribution can be applied in two ways. So first is sampling without replacement. Second is sampling with replacement. When we say sampling replacement, it is when a datum once chosen from the population will not be returned in the population frame. For example, if we have a standard deck of card and nagdraw tayo one time and nakuha natin is ace of diamond, no? So kapag nakuha na natin siya, hindi na natin siya ibabalik. Hindi na natin ibabalik yung ace of diamond from our standard deck of card. So tatanggalin na natin siya. Unlike kay sampling with replacement, once na nagdraw tayo ng card and nakuha natin si ace of diamond, ibabalik natin yung ace of diamond from the standard deck of cards. So that is sampling with replacement. Ibig sabihin, pwede pa ulit natin siyang maging sample or pwede ulit natin siyang madraw from the standard deck of card. So each individual observation in a random sample has the population probability distribution P of X. A finite population is one that contains a fixed number of observations, while an infinite population contains an infinite number of observations. Obtaining the number of samples. To obtain the number of samples given a sample size, in a sample without replacement, we can apply combination. So I hope natatandaan pa yung topic na combination from your when you are grade 10, no? And for the combination, we use the formula n factorial over n minus n factorial n factorial. So which is capital N stands for population and small letter n is for the sample. Okay, where n is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to n or population. So since no yung sample is kukunin lang natin or subset siya from the population, so hindi pwedeng mag-exceed yung sample natin from our population. It is always be less than or equal to n. So pwede din naman siya mag-equal kay population if if all members of the population ay gagamitin natin as sample. Okay, so again, this is the formula that we are going to use for sample without replacement. And to obtain naman yung sample, given a sample size in a sample with replacement, we can simply apply the counting techniques, which is n raised to n, which is population raised to sample. So this is the formula for sample with replacement. So don't be confused, no, which formula yung gagamitin po ninyo. Okay? So kapag without replacement, combination. Pag sample with replacement, yung counting techniques, which is n raised to n. So what are the characteristics of sampling distribution? Number one, the mean of the sampling distribution is equal to the population mean. And number two, if the population is more normally distributed, the sampling distribution of sample mean will be normally distributed. Okay. So for your easy computation and application of the concept of sampling distribution, the following formulas will be applied. So we have here 12 formulas, no? Medyo mahaba, madaming kailangan i-memorize, but while we are performing or answering some examples, hindi natin namamalayan na i-apply na pala natin itong mga formulas na to. If you can't memorize this, you can have this as your guide naman. Pwede nyo siyang tignan. Okay? So again, these are the formulas that we are going to use. So let's have an example number one. And this example is sampling without replacement. So dito given na that our example is sampling without replacement, therefore we are going to use the formula for combination, which is n factorial. Okay, wait lang. Which is n factorial raised to over n factorial minus sample mean times sample. Okay, n factorial over n minus n factorial times n factorial. Oh, sorry. Okay, so the problem is, suppose that a population consists of the 6 employees in a small business. The random variable of interest x is the number of years the employee has been with the business. The values of the variable are as follows. So yung first column on our table are the names of employees, and the second column on the table is the years in the business. Okay? So it means that Akaya has 1 year, is 1 year in business, Judel is 2 years, Rachel is 3 years, Rihanna is 4 years, Sophia is 5 years, and Uschel is 6 years. So here are the following problems to be answered. No? Letter A, what is the population mean, population variance, and population standard deviation of the given data? So letter A pa lang, marami na tayong hahanapin na mga values, no? And we are going to apply the previous formulas na naipakita na natin. For letter B, what is the sampling distribution of the sample means for a sample size of 2 without replacement? Ibig sabihin, maglilist tayo dito ng by pair of employees. Okay? With sample of 2, kaya po by pair. Then letter C, what is the mean, variance, and standard deviation of the sampling distribution? Letter D, what is the probability of getting 3 as a mean? What is the probability of getting 2 as a mean? And what is the probability of getting more than 3 as a mean? Okay, so let's have letter A, solve for the population mean. Given the values of x or which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we first solve for the population mean. To get the population mean, we use the formula, the summation of x over n, or yung number of population. So it means lang po, ipag-a-add lang natin lahat ng x values natin. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 and plus 6 divided by n or kung ilan yung population natin. So our population is 6. So the our that will be 21 divided by 6. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 is 21. Then the number of population is 6. So that will be equal to 35. The next step, subtract the mean from each value of the random variable. So yung every x values natin, no, or yung years in business, isusubtract natin by the mean. Okay? So that will be 1 minus 3.5 is negative 2.5. 2 minus 3.5, that is negative 1.5. 3 minus 0.5, that is 3 minus 3.5 is negative 0.5. 4 minus 3.5, that is 0.5. 5 minus 3.5, that is 1.5. And 6 minus 3.5, that is 2.5. Okay, step 2, square the result obtained in x minus mean. So negative 2.5 squared, that is 6.25. Negative 1.5 squared, that is 2.25. Negative 0.5, that is 0.25. 0.5 squared, 0.25. 1.5 squared, that is 2.25. 2.5 squared, that is 6.25. Then after nating ma-square lahat ng result, no, in x minus mean, we are going to find the summation of this, or pag-a-add lang natin lahat. So yung 6.25 plus 2.25 plus 0.25 plus 0.25 plus 2.25 plus 6.25, that is equal to 17.50. So ito po, yung 17.50, we will use this to find or to solve for the variance. Because on the step 3, we are going to use we are going to solve for the variance and standard deviation. So our variance is the summation of x minus mean squared divided by n. So yung numerator natin dito will be substituted by 17.50, then divided by 6, that is 2.92. Yung 6 is our number of population. Then to solve for the standard deviation, we know that the standard deviation is the square root of variance. So yung nakuha nating result, no, na 2.92, kukuhanin lang po natin yung square root niya. So the square root of 2.92 is 1.71. Therefore, our variance is 2.92 and our standard deviation is 1.71. Then we're done with question letter A. Now let's proceed with question letter B. To generate the sampling distribution of the sample means, we need to collect all possible sample size without replacement from the population. So step 1, apply the combination formula to determine the number of possible sample size without replacement. So note that ito yung same problem pa rin naman yung gagamitin natin. Yung population is 6 and yung n natin is 2, yung sample, no? Gagawa kasi tayo ng combination of pair of employees, no? Magagawa tayo ng pairs po. Okay, so to solve for this, we are going to use the formula 6 factorial, or yung population factorial over population minus sample factorial times 2 factorial. Okay? So which is 6 factorial divided by 24 times 2 is equal to 15. So you can use your calculator to make sure that the answer is correct. So i-type nyo lang po on your calculator itong buong equation na to. You need to look for the factorial sign, or kapag wala kayong nakitang factorial sign, just look on NCR key on your calculator. So yung NCR, yung N po, yung ilalagay nyo as population, which is 6. Then, click nyo lang yung NCR key, no? And mag-a-appear doon once na maklik nyo ay C. Then, after nyo i-click yung C, itatype nyo naman yung value for R. Our R is 2. And then, click equal lang po. The answer will be 15 pa rin. Okay? So, ibig sabihin po, there are 15 possible samples of size 2. Ibig sabihin, 15 combination yung makikreate natin from our population. Okay, so step 2, now we list the 15 distinct possible combination for sample size of 2 which can be drawn from the population. And take note that this is without replacement or repetition. Ibig sabihin, once na maging pair na sila, hindi na sila pwedeng umulit. And once na once na ma-draw na yung name nila, hindi na rin sila pwedeng umulit pa or i-pair pa sa iba. Okay? So we have here 15 observations and the following pairs of sample size of 2 or Akaya Jodiel, Akaya Rigel, Akaya Rihanna, Akaya Sofia, Akaya Osiel. So kung mapapansin nyo, no, once na ma-draw na si Akaya, hindi siya pwedeng i-partner pa sa sarili niya. Okay? So next, Judiel Rachel, Judiel Rihanna, Judiel Sofia, Judiel Uziel, Rachel Rihanna, Rachel Sofia, Rachel Uziel, Rihanna Sofia, Rihanna Uziel, and Sofia Uziel. Okay? And their years are on the third column. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. Ayan po yung corresponding years nila no? On the business. Step 3, compute for the mean of each sample. So, to compute for the mean lang po, just add their number of years in business, then divided by 2. So, this one, 1 plus 2 is 3 divided by 2, that is 1.5. 1 plus 3 divided by 2, that is 2. 1 plus 4 divided by 2, 2.5. 1 plus 5 divided by 2, that is 3. 1 plus 6 divided by 2, 3.5. 2 plus 3 divided by 2, 2.5. 2 plus 4 divided by 2, that is 3. 2.5 plus 2, 2 plus 5 divided by 2, that is 3.5. 2 plus 6 divided by 2, that is 4. 3 plus 4 divided by 2, it is equal to 3.5. 3 plus 5 divided by 2 is equal to 4. 3 plus 6 divided by 2, that is 4.5. 4 plus 5 divided by 2 is equal to 4.5. 4 plus 6 divided by 2 is equal to 5. And 5 plus 6 divided by 2, that is 5.5. And the total is 52.5 kasi hanapin din natin yung summation of this, no? Next, step 4, compute for the mean and of the distribution of sample means. So the formula is the summation of sample mean divided by yung ating combination. Okay, na nakuha kanina, which is 15. So our sample mean is 52.5 divided by 15. So therefore, the sample mean of the sampling distribution is 3.5. Okay, so 52.5 divided by 15, that is 3.5. Next, for letter C or question letter C, compute for the variance and standard deviation of the sampling. So yung data na nakuha natin kanina is gagamitin din natin to solve for the variance and standard deviation. So first is subtract yung ating mean minus the sample mean. Okay, so that will be 1.5 minus 3.5. 1.5 minus 3.5 is negative 2. 2 minus 3.5, that is negative 1.5. 2.5 minus 3.5, that is negative 1. 3 minus 3.5, that is negative 0.5. 3.5 minus 3.5, that is 0. 2.5 minus 3.5, that is negative 1. 3 minus 3.5, that is negative 0.5. 3.5 minus 3.5, that is 0. 4 minus 3.5, that's 1.5. Oh, sorry, this is 0.5. Okay, 0.5. Next, 3.5 minus 3.5, that is 0. 4.5 minus 3.5, that is 0.5 again. Okay, and 4.5 minus 3.5, that is 1. 4.5 minus 3.5 is 1. 5 minus 3.5, that is 1.5. 5.5 minus 3.5, that is equal to 2. Then after natin may subtract yung sample mean natin from the mean. So kukunin naman natin yung square nila. So that the square of -2 is 4. Square of 1.5 is 2.25. Square of -1, that is 2. -0.5 squared, 0.25. 0 squared is 0. -1 squared, that is 1. So -0.5 squared, that is 0.25. 0 squared is 0. 0.5 squared, that is 0.25. Okay. 0.25, 0 squared, that is 0. 0.5 squared, that is 0.25. 1 squared is 1, 1 squared is 1, 1.5 squared is 2.25, and 2 squared is 4. And after natin makuha yung square, no, ay ikukuhanin naman natin yung sum nila or yung summation of this. So that will be, kapag ini-add natin lahat, that will be equal to 17.50. So this total or 17.50 is gagamitin natin to solve for the variance. So yung 17.50, ito yung isa-substitute natin on the summation of x bar minus sample mean squared over yung ating combination na solve kanina. So that will be 17.5 divided by 15, that is equal to 1.17. And for the standard deviation, again, the standard deviation is the square, no? Square root of our variance. So that is square root of 1.15. It is equal to 1.08. So therefore, no, our variance is 1.17 and our standard deviation is 1.08. So our conclusion here is the mean of the sample mean is equal to the mean of the population. So the sample means vary from 1.5 to 5.5, whereas the population varies from 1 to 6. Okay? So now for letter D, question letter D, ito yung mga problem na isa-satisfy natin. What's the probability of getting 3 as a mean? What is the probability of getting 2 as a mean? What is the probability of getting more than 3 as a mean? Then create a distribution table and draw a histogram on distribution of sample. So ito na yung data noon na ito na yung table or data na nakuha natin earlier, no? And dito lang din tayo kukuha ng magiging sagot natin from questions from letter D. Okay? So if we are going to analyze this table, no, or this data, we know that the values of the sample mean in this experiment are 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, and 5.5. So again po, no, itong mga value na nandito na mention ay dito nyo po sa column na ito titignan. Dito siya manggagaling. Okay? So ililist nyo lang lahat ng nag-occur, no, from our value na nag-occur from our sample mean. So next, let's create a frequency distribution. So yung 1.5 occurs one time. 2 occurs one time. 2.5 occurs 2 times. 3 occurs 2 times. 3.5 occurs 3 times. 4 occurs 2 times. 4.5 occurs 2 times. 5 occurs 1 time. And 5.5 occurs at 1 time. And the total is 15 pa rin, no? So again, kapag kinotal nyo yung sa number of occurrences, dapat equal siya doon sa number of sample, no? Number of combination na solve natin earlier. So that is equal to 15. So step 2, construct the summary distribution of the sample mean by getting the probability of occurrence of each value of the random variable. So, i-ano lang natin into probability, no? So, we know that yung total number of combinations na meron tayo is 15. Therefore, yung 1.5, its probability to occur is 1 over 15. 2, the probability of 2 to occur is 1.1 over 15. 2.5 is 2 over 15. 3 is 2 over 15. 3.5 is 3 over 15. 4 is 2 over 15. 4.5 is 2 over 15. 5 is 1 over 15 and 5.5 is 1 over 15. And dapat, no, since probability na to, dapat once we get the sum of this, all probabilities will be equal to 1. Okay, so kapag probability na and ipinag-add natin lahat, dapat po ito ay mag-i-equal into 1. Okay, next, create lang tayo ng histogram, no? Yung histogram kasi is helpful or useful para mas ma-visualize natin yung data na meron tayo and mas ma-analyze din natin, no? So, based on our histogram and the data that we gathered, no? So, what is the probability of getting 3 as a mean? So, yung 3 natin is this one, okay? This graph, no? So, yung 3 natin is equal to 2 over 15. Okay? Next, what is the probability of getting 2 as a mean? Yung 2 naman natin is this one, this graph. Okay? So, yung probability of getting 2 is 1 over 15, or you can change it into percent form, that is equal to 6.67. And for letter 3, what is number 3, what is the probability of getting more than 3 as a mean? So that is equal to 11 over 15 or 73.33%. Okay? So that is the probability um, of this means. Probability of 3, of 2, and more than 3 as a mean. So let's have another example. So for example number 2, this is sampling with replacement. Suppose a population 3 values. So again po, no, since this is something with replacement, we will use the formula na counting technique, which is n raised to n, or population raised to sample. So suppose the population 3 values are 13, 17, and 24. What is the population mean, population variance, and population standard deviation of the given data? Letter B, what is the sampling distribution of the sample mean of a sample size of 2, which can be drawn with replacement from the given population? And letter C, what is the mean, variance, and standard deviation of the sampling distribution? Letter D, what's the probability of getting 13 as a mean? What is the probability of getting less than 17 as a mean? And what is the probability of getting more than 20 as a mean? So, first is solve for the population mean. So, kunin lang natin yung sum ng tatlong values, which is 13 plus 17 plus 24 is equal to 54. And our n, or population, is 3. So, 54 divided by 3 is 18. Then next step, subtract the mean from each value of the random variable. So, 13 minus 18, that is negative 5. 17 minus 18, that is 1, negative 1. Negative 1 is ito po. Next, 24 minus 18, this is equal to 6. Then step 2, square the result of x minus mean. So negative 5 squared is 25, negative 1 squared is 1, 6 squared is 36. And kukuhanin natin yung total, which is equal to 62. Then next step, makukuha na natin yung variance and standard deviation. For the variance, no, yung sa numerator natin na part, ito yung isa-substitute natin, no, by 62. Okay? So 62 divided by population, or number of population, which is 3. So 62 divided by 3 is 20.67. And to get the standard deviation, just simply get the square root of the variance, which is square root of 20.67 is equal to 4.55. Letter B, to generate the sampling distribution of the sample means we need to collect all possible sample size with replacement from the population. So dito na kukunin na natin yung possible sample size, which is, and we know that this example or this problem is sampling with replacement. Therefore, gagamitin natin is yung counting technique, which is n raised to n. So our population is 3 and yung sample size of 2 is, yung sample natin will be 2. So 3 raised to 2 is equal to 9. Okay? So therefore, yung ating yung ating combination, yung ating sample mean, no, with the sample size of 2 is 9. So So there are 9 possible samples of size 2 as shown below. So step 2, now we list all the 9 possible combinations for sample of size 2 which can be drawn from the population. So eto na, no? So first draw, it could be 13. So second draw, it could be 13, 17, and 24. Okay, so since ito ay with replacement, kahit makuha na natin yung 13 sa first draw, pwede natin siyang ibalik, no, from the population, then may chance pa ulit siyang ma-draw. Kaya po dito, meron pa siyang, or na-list pa rin natin siya, yung 13 on the second draw. Okay? So again, this is sampling with replacement, kaya po babalik talaga yung ating 13 sa second draw kahit na-draw na siya in first draw. Okay, again, I hope that is clear, no? So, first draw, 13, second draw, 13. So, the sample size of 2 will be 13, 13. Next, 13, yung first draw, possible na 17 yung second draw. So, the sample size will be 13 and 17. Next, 13 and 24 yung possible. 13 si first draw, 24 si second draw, no? So, that will be 13 and 24. So same thing on the 17, no? 17 yung first, pwedeng 17 yung first draw and second draw will be 13, 17, and 24. For 24, yung first draw, yung second draw could be 13, 17, and 24. Again, these are the sample size of 2, no? So next, step 3, compute for the mean of each sample. So again, no, yung samples natin na nakuha, ipag-add lang po natin, divide by 2. 13 plus 13 divided by 2 is 13. 13 plus 17 divide 2 is 15. 13 plus 24 divide 2 is 18.5. 17 plus 13 divide 2, that is 15. 17 plus 17 divide 2 is 17. 17 plus 24 divide 2 is 20.5. 24 plus 13 divide 2, that is 18.5. 24 plus 17 divided by 2, that is 20.5. And 24 plus 24 divide 2, that is equal to 24. So, once na makuha na natin, no, yung mean of each sample, kukuhanin lang natin yung total niya. So that will be 162 yung total of our mean. So next, step 4, solve for the mean of the distribution of sample means. Okay? So again, yung X bar natin, that is notation for sample mean. So to get the mean or population mean of sample mean, so gagamitin natin yung formula, the summation of X bar or summation of mean, sample mean, divided by n raised to n. So yung summation of sample mean is 162, and yung ating n raised to n or yung combination na meron tayo, number of observations is 9. 162 divided by 9, that is equal to 18. So the sample mean of the sampling distribution is equal to 18. So next, for letter C or question letter C, compute for the variance and standard deviation of the sampling distribution. So step 1, subtract the mean of the sampling distribution from the mean of each observation. So 13 minus 18, that is negative 5. 15 minus 18, that is negative 3. 18.5 minus 18, that is 0.5. 15 minus 18, negative 3. 17 minus 18, negative 1. 20.5 minus 18, 2.5. 18.5 divide 8, minus 18, 0.5. 20.5 minus 18, that is 2.5. And 24 minus 18, that is 6. Then after this, kuhanin lang natin, no, yung square of sample mean minus mean of the sample mean. So that will be negative 5 squared, that is 25. Negative 3 squared is 9. 0.5 squared is 0.25. Negative 3 squared is 9. Negative 1 squared is 1. 2.5 squared is 6.25. 0.5 squared, that's 0.25. 2.5 squared, that is 6.25. And 6 squared, that is 36. And after that, kuhanin lang natin yung summation of this or yung sum or total nilang lahat. So that will be equal to 93. So kapag pinag-add natin silang lahat, no, on our fifth column, that will be equal to 93. Then step 3, kapag nakuha na natin yung summation of x minus um, sample mean minus mean of the sample mean is squared divided by n raised to n, no? So yung numerator will be 93 and yung denominator is 9. 93 divided by 9, that is 10.33. So that is our variance. Now for the standard deviation, get the square root of variance. So the square root of 10.33 is 3.21. Okay, so our conclusion here is the mean of the sample mean is equal to the mean of the population. So again, no, they are always equal, yung sample mean and yung mean of the population. Okay, so this is the example for um, sampling with replacement. So meron pa tayong question dito for question letter D. So we are going to answer this question. What is the probability of getting 13 as a mean? What is the probability of getting less than 17 as a mean? And what is the probability of getting more than 20 as a mean? Okay, then we are going to create distribution table and draw a histogram. Okay, so ito yung table na gagamitin natin. Ito yung table kanina, no? And we are going to use this to create to solve the following questions. Okay? So, the values of the mean, no, kung titignan natin yung values dun sa mean or sample mean on our experiment are 13, 15, 17, 18.5, 20.5, and 24. So these values ay nanggaling or kinuha from this column. Okay? So next, let's create distribution frequency distribution table. So in 13 occurs one time, 15 occurs two times, 17 occurs one time, 18.5 occurs two times, 20.5 occurs two times, 24 occurs one time. And after this, no, dapat yung total nila will be equal to 9 or yung number of observations natin. Okay, so step 2, construct the summary distribution table of the sample mean by getting the probability of occurrences. So probability to, no? And yung total number of observations na meron tayo is 9. Okay, so yung 13, the probability of getting 13 as a mean is 1 over 9. The probability of 15 is 2 over 9. The probability of 17 is 1 over 9. 18.5 is 2 over 9. 20.5 is 2 over 9. And 24 is 1 over 9. So again, no, yung probability natin, once na kinuha natin yung sum, ito ay dapat or it must be equal to 1. Okay? So you can check it, no? Pwede nyong ipag-add lahat para malaman nyo or para ma-verify nyo if it is equal to 1 nga ba. Okay, so step number 3, yung create lang tayo ng histogram. So again, yung histogram kasi is very helpful and useful, no? Para mas madali nating makita yung mga data for mas na-visualize kasi natin and mas madaling ma-interpret kapag meron tayong histogram. So the probability of getting 13 as a mean is 1 over 9 or 11.11%. The probability of getting less than 17 is 4 over 9 or 44.44%. And the probability of getting 20 as a mean is 3 over 9 or 33.33%. Okay? And again, ito yung example natin for sampling with replacement. Okay? So now, I want you to answer this. Now, recite the steps in constructing a probability distribution in a sampling with replacement. How about sampling without replacement? Okay, so this is your exit ticket for this lesson. So, and that's all for our discussion for today. I hope you have learned from this video lesson. If you have questions or clarifications, you can message me to ask your question. So again, that's all for today and have a nice day. Thank you.